Hey sweet friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have 10 new Dollar Tree DIYs that do not look like they come from the dollar store. These turned out really cute. They're really rustic farmhouse Christmas, but you can switch these up or paint them differently to match any style. So I really hope you guys enjoy these projects. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Make sure you are subscribed, and let's go ahead and get on into Christmas crafting. Okay, first up, I think it's really cool that Dollar Tree is putting out these MDF signs. They are really thick material and they're really sturdy. So this is so fun to DIY with. I picked up this snowflake, which I thought was a gorgeous design. I did fill in the hole at the top with some hot glue. Usually I use wood filler, but when I am just dry brushing and painting over it, you cannot tell the difference, especially if you sand it down. But going over this with some white paint, I intentionally am leaving some of the brown showing through because I am going for more of a rustic look, but if you want more of a glam look, you can definitely cover this 100%. And then I picked up a yardstick. This came from the dollar store, Dollar General, to be specific, and then the little hexagon shape came from the Dollar Tree, and I decided to cut the yardstick down to create a stand for this snowflake. So I will just be gluing the snowflake on the stand, but I will take the extra time to kind of drill a hole and put a screw in the bottom of this stand so it does hold up just a little bit more sturdy. I decided to stain mine for more of that farmhouse rustic look, so I'm just using this weathered wood color, weathered gray, and covering the large wood shapes as well as the dowel rod or yardstake, but Walmart also sells yardsticks that you could use for this, or larger dowel rods. And then, like I say, just gluing this together and then going to screw in the base. I thought that I could decorate this before I do stand it up, just so it lays nice and flat and I can see what I'm doing. I took a little garland tie, twisted that up to put it in the middle of this snowflake, and then put a little white checked bow at the top, which I think is really cute. And then Dollar Tree sells jingle bells in all types of colors and shapes and sizes, but I decided to just kind of upgrade a tiny bit, go with some Hobby Lobby bells. I love this brown color, and then I'm just going to tie them in a knot and glue this on top of there. I didn't like how green that the greenery was, so I did go over that with a little bit of white paint while my paintbrush was already wet, so that it looked like it had a little bit of snow on there. Attached my bow, and then that's all I did for the middle. But so many things you could do with this. You could even add a word on there, but I love the height that this project gives, so you can set this on a shelf and it just looks really good, especially with so many other projects being really short and squatty. So this adds just extra layers and height to any like table that you're decorating. But love how this turns out. Definitely going to be one of my favorites, and I can see myself making multiple sets of these. I didn't feel like it would be Christmas crafting if we didn't make some type of tray or design some kind of plate or decorate it for Santa's milk and cookies. So this is my inspiration behind this. I picked up several of the Dollar Tree little chunky planks. I think these were about 12 inches. They said on the tag, chunky slat, 12 inch. So I am using 5 of these, and I'm just hot gluing these together, but I am always just creating videos and being in a hurry. So if you want to take the extra time, definitely add in some wood glue or something that would hold a little bit stronger. And then I wanted to whitewash over this so that I would have a nice pretty background. One of the easiest ways to decorate really anything, especially Dollar Tree crafting, and you don't have a Cricut, you can use window clings. So I love using window clings on so many things, and you could even add in that red truck on this project and leave it as is, like a little sign. But like I said, going for the milk and cookies, so I'm just using the Merry Christmas at the top just so it has some words on there. And then I have this leftover fall mug. It had the little whipped cream swirl on the top, so I cut that off so it would just be a normal mug. And then using 2 of the snowmen, I cut their heads off so that I could make 2 circular shapes for little cookies. So I ended up painting the mug red, and then these little cookies a tan color, and adding in some chocolate chips. I thought while I already had this really cute like mocha color on my brush, I would just go ahead and paint that in the mug. So mine kind of looks like cookies and hot cocoa. If you wanted the original milk look, you could definitely paint white there. But like I say, I just thought it would be really cute to go ahead and make it look like cocoa. And then I am using Mod Podge to glue down the Merry Christmas. But if you do this, make sure you always put Mod Podge over the top so that nothing peels up. And then I'll be gluing on my fun little pieces towards the bottom. I added in a snowflake, and then I'm using a paint marker just to add a few extra details. So I'm adding some white swirls to the hot cocoa, as well as some little highlights around the edges. If I would have had some like drawer pulls or handles, I would have put that, like actually used hardware and put that on the edges, but I couldn't find any, and I didn't want to run out, so I'm just tying some easy little rope handles to add to the edges. And this isn't really going to be used a lot, it's just for decor purposes, so it looks really cute sitting on a shelf. And as you'll be able to tell in this video, I love using these real wood pieces. Here in this project, I'm using an 8-inch as well as a 10-inch piece. And whenever I see these at Dollar Tree, I just go ahead and stock up on them because they don't have them super often. So I just grab a few extra, even if I am just creating a little pile at home. So I will have the extra on hand, but you never run across these real wood pieces very often. I did paint them white, and then I found this Merry Christmas ribbon wooden piece from the Dollar Tree, and I thought that I would paint it. So you can see I tried to stain it, and then I realized I forgot to mix my stains, so then I tried to stain that, and it was more of a gray color than a wood color, and I did not like it for this project. So going over with some red chalk paint just to make this really pop off of the backing. I really wanted to dress this up, so using a garland tie, I decided to cut mine down because I felt like the pieces on it were super long, and I wanted to glue this across the bottom and not cover too much of the ribbon. So that's what I am doing here. I ended up gluing it to the bottom, but I will be painting over this as well to give it that flocked look. And I love doing this to all of my greenery. I just feel like it matches my style better. Usually all of my trees are flocked as well as the garland, so it really just kind of ties everything in together. I added a bow to the top, and I am using Hobby Lobby ribbon and just some black and white gingham or buffalo check ribbon, and added on some jingle bells. I love picking up the Dollar Tree galvanized pieces, so when I found this stocking shape, I was super excited, grabbed that, but I didn't know exactly what to do with it. So I had this really fun idea to use some of the Dollar Tree vinyl in this black and white pattern, and I thought it would be fun to cut out like the front and the back of the stocking to make it look like it has little toes and heels and just give this more of a decorative touch. I didn't want to overdo it with the busy pattern, so for the top I am using a piece of this burlap kind of fabric paper. It's in the scrapbooking aisle at Hobby Lobby, and while I do pay a little bit extra for it, I love how it's really stiff and like tight woven. It kind of has a backing on it, so it's not going to fall apart. I love that I'm able to easily cut this down to size. I glued it down in place and then cut off the excess, and then taking some more of my garland ties. I put this on like every project, but I feel like it just dresses up everything, and I love going overboard and decorating with all of the small little details versus leaving everything plain, and then added in some tiny pine cones as well as some berries. The really cool thing about pulling these berries off of the floral stems is they are styrofoam and they will like show a lot of white, so when you do add the white paint over them to make them look flocked, it kind of blends in all of the mistakes. And then using a paint marker, I just tried to outline the bottoms just to give them a little bit of like a defined look, and you could kind of see that they were more polished, and then added some extra little squiggly lines around the top. I love all of these chunky shapes that Dollar Tree is putting out. I found this really cute one that looks kind of like a cutting board, but just for decor purposes. I went ahead and drilled a hole at the top so I could add in some Christmas ribbon, and then once again just trying to easily stain this so it's not too dark. I have noticed that sometimes if I don't mix the stain a lot, I can get like a lighter look. And then I picked up these tiny little framed ornaments from Hobby Lobby, but Dollar Tree also has some really cute tiny ornaments. So you could put anything here. I like the little truck, so I put that on there. Added in another greenery tie to the top and decorated that as well. But this will be so cute. You could even hang this on like a Christmas tree, like in your kitchen, or maybe from a hook in your kitchen. But I feel like this would be something really cute that could either hang or set in a tiered tray. So many uses for this, and once again adding in the pine cones as well as the little berries and painting over them with white. The second that I saw these little buckets in the Crafter's Square, I knew they could be a little pill of snowballs, so that's what I'm doing with these. I think it is so fun using the galvanized pieces and then decorating them yourself. I did pick up these tiny little white pom-poms at Dollar General, but I knew it would take most of them to fill these up. So Dollar Tree does have out like white felt and fabric that you can easily just kind of stuff down in the bottom of these buckets so it don't take so many of your craft supplies or your little pom-poms. And then these pom-pom packages did come with half red, half white, so I did try to kind of separate them and save all the red ones so that either I can put them to good use or I can give them to my little girls to Christmas craft with, but I did make a craft and use one of these as like a little Rudolph nose. So many things that you could do with these little pom-poms, but I did think these were super cute in the little pills to look like snowballs. So a really cool little hack if you don't want to burn your fingers off when you are trying to apply glue to small little tiny items like these snowballs. I just kind of put a puddle out on a scrap work area or a piece of paper, and then of course you have to kind of work quickly because the glue does want to set up, but I just dipped the little cotton balls or pom-poms down in there and then glued them on top of each other because I don't want these falling out off of my tree all over the floor, and then added in some snowflakes to the front. So this is kind of a unique piece, but I thought it was really fun. I wanted to create a frame and put in the like Dollar Tree Christmas trees. So I started with 2 longer pieces as well as 2 of the smaller boards, and I've already taken the tags off, but I think I used 2 12 inches and then 2 8-inch of these slats. And I did end up just going with what size they were. You can cut these down, but I just ended up gluing them together to create a rectangle and have this perfect frame. So instead of just putting a sign in it and making it a boring piece like always or the same old signs, I ended up staining this and gluing in Christmas trees. So you'll see what I mean. It's kind of a unique, different piece, but it looks really cute styled, especially if you're into like the little red trucks and the Christmas tree farm decor, with this like being used as a background piece. These are the 3 trees that I'm going with, and I just feel like glued on here they look like a little Christmas tree farm and just add that extra height to your table as well as that pop of green. So I glued 3 trees in here. I love these that have the wooden bottoms, and I love this Farm Fresh sign. This was actually in the fall decor section from Dollar Tree, but I took one of these words and then just whitewashed over it, glued it to the top, and I feel like it kind of just looked like a little Christmas tree farm, and like I say, styled with a little red truck. This was just something really cute to make. Next up, I picked up a galvanized bucket from Dollar Tree. They have several different styles of these out all the time, so I'm sure that you can find one. And this was just a random letter because they didn't have many of them, so I am going to be covering that over with some white paint. I decided to just go for it and freehand this instead of trying to use painter's tape and tape it off. So I ended up just using a paintbrush and some white chalk paint to make like a thick line or thick paint line that would cover the initial. So you could once again use some trucks or any of these window clings because they're so much fun to add decals on there and just glue them down in place, and they make beautiful decor. But Hobby Lobby has out so many like deer items with like woodland Christmas like vibes and neutral colors, and it is so pretty. So that's kind of what I'm going for here. I just decided to use some of the trees as well as this little deer and glued them down with a craft stick, but then I do go back and Mod Podge over the entire thing to make sure that everything's gonna stay nice and tight on there. And then once again, just really quickly making some little handles by tying some knots in the rope. I add this to both sides and it gives it more of that rustic look. And then just for like a 10-second craft, I am using one of Dollar Tree's vases. And once again, these wooden beads that I found at Dollar Tree back in the fall. But Walmart has tons of these tiny beads out right now. They have a whole section with like tiny little ornaments. So they have tons of colored little beads that are perfect for projects just like this. They come in like red and green as well as stained or natural beads. But I am using the Dollar Tree and then just glued on a little snowflake to the bottom to let this dangle. But I love making simple little vases like this because it's a great way to display all of your Christmas florals. Thank you all so much for watching, coming along and crafting with me today. I hope you all are getting so excited for the holidays as much as me. It's just so much fun getting a head start and Christmas crafting super early so that you'll have time to enjoy everything else the closer we get to Christmas. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, make sure you are subscribed, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy crafting, bye!